riding through the Mojave Desert in California. Coming off of I-40 and going north towards Mojave National Preserve. We are taking one of the few paved roads through the preserve. The sign says, "Tortoise season, slow down." We are on Kelso Road, going north. We are now in the Mojave National Preserve. This is part 33 of our ride from Texas to California and back again. Granite Peak is on our left. It's the tallest of this group of mountains. The peak is 6,762 feet. Pulling in to Boulder's Viewpoint. We are looking towards Granite Peak and Silver Peak. This small mountain range is called the Granite Mountains. Most of the granite rocks in the Mojave Desert are 80 to 180 million years old. To the left somewhere is the Sweeney Granite Mountain Desert Research Center. Most of the eastern side of the Granite Mountains are a natural reserve. In front of us is Granite Pass, which is 4,024 feet. To our right, parallel to the road, is the Providence mountain range. There are a few four-wheel drive roads going into the mountains to a mine and some springs. The springs in this area do not run year-round. On the left, the Kelso sand dunes. There's a 3-mile round-trip hike on the dunes. The dunes, being very soft sand and movable, are hard to hike up, and this takes people longer than they would expect. There were a few cattle guards in the park. There is a cattle grazing program here, as well as bighorn sheep in the preserve. Coming up to the town of Kelso, which to us seemed more like an intersection. In front of us on our right is the Kelso Depot Visitor Center. Our phones were too hot to keep them plugged in on the bike, so we had our phone in our pockets, which meant stopping to look at the map. We checked which way to go, and we're on our way again. While we were in the preserve, the average temperature for us was 111 degrees. It was late afternoon. The original Kelso Depot, restaurant and employees hotel on the right is now the visitor center. This building is on the National Register of Historic Places. The town of Kelso is now considered a ghost town. There was sand on the road in some of these dips. If we saw the orange cone, that meant sand. I'm not sure if the sand was blown into the dips or if it was runoff from the last rain. The Mojave Desert seems to get flash floods about once every 3 years. I'm assuming at that time all these dips turn into rushing rivers. To our right are the mid-hills. There are some campgrounds and hikes. None of the roads in that area are paved. And there are warnings the roads may be impassable in bad weather. Town of Cima, now also considered a ghost town. This was originally a water stop for the trains. Left goes to I-15. We are going to go northeast and stay in the park a bit longer. We are now on Morning Star Mine Road. Surprised to find a forest of Joshua trees. Finding a shoulder that looks like we won't sink into it, we pull over to get a better look. The Ivanpah Mountains are in front of us, which is on the left side of the road. There are a few four-wheel drive roads in the mountains. The Joshua trees are in the Ivanpah Valley. Past that is the New York Mountains. The train goes through the valley, and there are a few four-wheel drive roads. Taking a minute to enjoy the scenery and cool off without all the gear on. On the right is 6 Mile Tank. Guessing this watering pen is for livestock. People have pulled over here. You can tell how soft and sandy the shoulders are. Looking ahead, I see the sand has filled up half the intersection, so I'm going to pull up behind Paul instead of beside him. We're going to continue north on Ivanpah Road. We don't want to go south, but if we did, the road is only paved for approximately the next 10 miles. It turns into a dirt road not far after the railroad tracks, and stays a dirt road to the other side of the New York Mountains. We are turning right on Nipton Road. Again, this will keep us in the preserve longer and off of the interstate. On our left is Ivanpah Lake, which is a dry lake. We are riding through the Ivanpah Valley. Coming up to the town of Nipton. We are about to cross the same railroad track we have been following since Kelso. Nipton, California, also known as Magical Nipton. With only a population of 15, Nipton has a restaurant, gift shop, hotel, campground, outdoor art, and a local brewing company. We are almost at the Nevada border, which is where the Mojave National Preserve ends. Thanks for joining us on our ride through the Mojave National Preserve. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and add any comments below. Our next videos will be continuing east into the Nevada desert. Check out my other social media pages to follow our moto adventures.